everyone. Welcome to the farm to table. Yes, today we are in a greenhouse, bell pepper greenhouse that is roughly 4 weeks, 4 week old. Welcome to the farm to table. I'm taking you on a full walkthrough of this greenhouse today, and I'm going to break down exactly what's happening with these plants, what we are doing to manage them, and what any serious farmer, I mean any serious farmer or anyone who wants to own and grow bell pepper needs to know about this particular stage of growth. Whether you grow peppers on a large commercial scale or you're thinking about starting with a small greenhouse, what happens in weeks 3 to 6, even after transplanting, determine how much fruit you will eventually harvest. And growing is one thing, harvesting is the major thing, and market is the larger view. Now, let's go into the vegetative stage. What the plant is doing right now, that's the shoot slope and along plant rows, then tight close-up of leaves, new shoot growth. Yeah. So, like I said, we are at the 4 weeks post-transplant. Transplanting normally takes on the average 21, 28 days, depending on how well you manage it. Even some bell pepper nursery takes as high as 30, 32 days, but the norm is between 21 and 28 days. Now, this is 4 weeks after transplanting, and the bell pepper plant is deep in what we call the vegetative stage. It's not thinking about fruit yet. This is not the time to worry yourself about fruit. It's not thinking about flowers. No, forget about flowers for now. What it's doing is every single hour of every single day is building capacity. Yes, look at the branching structure on this plant. Just look at it. You can see new shoots pushing out from the nodes. The main stem is thickening, the leaf surface area is expanding. Every new leaf this plant produces is essentially a solar panel. Solar panel just to attract sunlight, produce energy. The same way with this plant, capturing light and converting it into energy that will eventually power fruit production. Now, here's the insight most people miss. The number of bell peppers this plant ultimately yields is being decided right now, at this very moment. Not in 2 months when the fruit appears. No. A plant that builds a strong, bushy vegetative structure in these early weeks will be able to hold and feed far more fruits than a plant that just rush, stressed, or undernourished at this stage. So that's why taking good step in taking good care of the plant at this stage is very, very vital. So when you see us out here at week 4 doing what looks like a basic maintenance, we're actually setting the ceiling on this crop performance. Next, we'll be talking about the temperature and climate management. Yeah, that's what we're talking about in the next section. Now, let's talk about temperature and climate management. Yeah. Here we'll be talking about the thermometer reading, vent or fan operation. We don't have fan in this greenhouse. Also, we'll be talking about the overhead view of the greenhouse structure. Sadly, we don't have a drone yet for me to have an aerial view of the greenhouse structure, but well, maybe before the next video knows, we can get a drone. Now let's go into the temperature and climate management aspects. Talking about this, we are talking about the environment in which we are maintaining in here, because the greenhouse is only valuable if you are using it to create the right conditions. For bell peppers at this stage, we are targeting daytime temperatures that should always be between 23 and 25 degrees Celsius. That's roughly around, if I'm right, 73 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And at night, when we want to come down to as low as 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, that temperature drop at night is not just acceptable, it's actually beneficial. Yes, it's beneficial. It pushes the plant into a slightly more generative mode, which prepares it for the flowering phase. Beg your pardon, the flowering phase that comes next. Yeah, talking about humidity. Humidity is something a lot of first-time greenhouse farmers they underestimate. Why do I say that? We are keeping relative humidity between 60 to 70% at this very stage. Too low, and the plant experience stress. Just know that if it's too low, your plant is definitely going to experience stress. You'll see the leaf edges, it will be curling and browning. Those are kind of the traits you will see. And if the humidity is too high, you are opening the door to fungal disease. Yes, you are just opening the gate to fungal disease, which can move through your greenhouse like wildfire because it's an enclosed environment. So once anything comes in, before you know what's happening, they're all gone. Now, talking about ventilation, ventilation is I repeat, your best friend here. Fresh air circulation reduces disease pressure. That one is sure. You should know that. When you have fresh air being circulated within the greenhouse, it's going to help you to reduce pressure. It also helps to regulate the temperature itself. Yes, because when the environment is too hot and you have your ventilation in place, the temperature is going to come down. Here's something not many people know, not many farmer knows about it. It actually stimulates the stems to grow stronger, and wind resistance also triggers the plant to build thicker wall wall cells, or you call it cell walls. And in an open field, nature handles all this, but in a greenhouse, it's a job to make sure you handle all this in the greenhouse. That's why I tell people that greenhouse farming, as you can see what I'm doing currently, I'm trying to prune, but we'll come to that later. This is also part of what helps for proper airflow, air circulation. The next phase we'll be talking about irrigation, and it's also a very, very, very vital aspect of bell pepper farming, especially in the greenhouse. Irrigation, yes. You drink water every day. So plants also need water. So how are we watering at week 4? You can see we have drip lines. We have drip lines in place. The drip lines also have dripping points that's dripping off. And drip lines and dripping points are done in such a way that they are close up of the root zone. So that means number one, we conserve water. Now let's walk through how we are watering this plant anyway. Bell peppers do not like wet feet. Yes, the root system is establishing itself rapidly at week 4, sending new roots deeper and wider into the growing medium. As you can see, we are growing on the soil directly. We are not using any growing bag or any growing medium, rice husk and the likes. No. And if you waterlog that environment, you cut off oxygen to the roots and invite water. You'll be wondering that, but what I'm seeing in the video looks like a waterlog. No, it's a controlled and a measured watering that we are doing at the moment. Our approach is to water when the top layer of the substrate is dry, when the top layer of of the soil is dry. We also have a breeder. I don't have it handy here. I would have showed you that we also use to check if it's right time for us to wet. And don't forget that in a greenhouse setting with consistent temperatures, that typically means irrigation once to twice daily is very, very essential. It's needed. Like in our case, we irrigate once a day. But don't forget that depending on the size of the growing media you're using, that's if you're using a growing media or like ours that we are growing directly on the soil, the ambient temperature and how aggressively the plants are transpiring also needs to be considered. Here we are using drip irrigation, as you can see, delivering water directly to the root zone, directly to the root zone. No, no wasting of water. Don't mind me. as a cucumber seed that we just have to drop at that spot. But as you can see in this video, watering is done using irrigation method, drip tape, and we are dropping the water, like I said, directly in the root zone. We are using the drip irrigation and we are minimizing leaf wetness. It's only when we go to spray maybe pesticide and the like that water actually touches the leaf. Because that's one of the things you also need to consider. Minimizing leaf wetness helps to prevent foliar disease. You should know that it helps you to prevent foliar disease, and each plant is getting a consistent measured volume. Like I said, consistent measured volume. And consistency here, that's the key word. Consistency is the key word. If you know you want to be watering, water either in the morning or in the evening. I tell people I don't advise afternoon watering. It doesn't really make sense for me. So in the morning or in the evening, consistency is the key word. Too much one day, too little the next. This causes a condition called blossom end rot. Yeah, people say, but I thought calcium alone is the one that causes blossom end rot. I'm telling you that irregularity in watering, too much one day or too little next day also causes blossom end rot when the plant reaches fruiting stage. And by then, the damage is already done. Damage is done. So that's all that for irrigation. We still have pest and disease scouting, nutrition and feeding, as well as plant training and pruning up next, but that will be in the next video. We would like to stop on this section one here, and we promise to bring these other 3 points in the next video. Don't forget, if you are here to like, subscribe, and share, please do so. It helps to order to others to see and come across this particular channel. This is the Farm to Table. We always bring tips on how to be a better farmer every day. If you want us to do the next video on those 3 points, that's on point the remaining 3 points, which are pest and disease scouting, plant training and pruning, as well as nutrition and feeding. Just drop nutrition and feeding in the comments if you want us to do that, or you can drop plant training and pruning. You can drop that in the comment section. Pest and disease scouting, if that's what you are interested in, just drop that, and we'll be doing comprehensive video on that to elaborate what needs to be done at those stages. This is the farm to table. Do like, share, and drop your questions.